clients are already answering the phone. 3, 2, 1, let's fuck!
Fucking shit.
Gay is just like, his salespeople go up and down. It's this constant
They're
keeping
emotional
them
people.
positive, and all keeping their skills, honed and trained at the highest level. I'll tell you what was really accurate about the movie. The overall feeling that you got from the movie was really just, the camaraderie, the insanity, right? That was accurate. What was not accurate, and you'll probably really understand this, is that we never ever would ever say, oh, let's go rip people off. That's like never uttered on Wall Street. Like that's the dirtiest because who would want to be part of it? It was always like, we really did try to make the money. It's just like, it's really hard to do it. We tried to, but we never say, let's sell them the big stocks and then the dog shit. You never would say that. So it wasn't like that at all. Not even this, it was always like, let's sell them, we're gonna make the money on these speculative stocks, because they're great companies, so we're gonna help build America. That was like sort of the vibe of it all, right? And in the beginning, we were true to that, and then at the end, yes, it got like sort of a sham and corrupted over the years, but in the beginning, the message was very much like that. It was never like, let's first sell them the big stocks, and then sell them the dog shit. Now, I understand why Scorsese did it, because it was a very easy way. You have 3 hours. How do you move the audience emotionally and to say, like, even in the movie, Leo says, so, at 12 o'clock, I bought back 1 million shares of this. He goes, you don't really give a shit, right? He looks at the camera and goes, the point is, we made 15 million. Like, they even say, like, who cares what we did wrong? I was like trying to explain the crime with the actual technical crime was manipulation, free riding, parking, stock, right? No one cares. So it was much easier to say, let's rip off our customers like that, because it made it easier. So I didn't like hearing that, because it made me look like I was just trying to rip people off. It was not like that. But you take the good with the bad. That was one thing.
Right.
I think the biggest inaccuracy of the movie is the scene where I'm about to say I'm resigning, I gotta go, and Danny's gonna take over, and then I say, fuck it, I'm not leaving. The show goes on. That did not happen. I actually left. Okay. I wasn't stupid. I mean, like, that's stupid, right? And Danny took over. I ran the firm from behind the scenes, but I didn't publicly say I'm staying, I'm leaving, screw everybody, right? I wasn't that crazy, deluded yet. It came a few years later, right? So that was one major inaccuracy, and then from that, a lot of things that were inaccurate flowed. But the point is, even all the things that flowed from there, they all happened, but in different times. Like, I took the yacht, sunk the yacht, crashed the plane, but I wasn't sitting on the boat looking up while the plane crashed. Right. It happened a week later. That was one scene the movie didn't really,
Didn't do a good job of it.
No, they didn't do a good job. Just what happened was, that was part of it. I was complicit in this scene, in the sense that we were trying to figure out a way, because we were running out of time. It's 3 hours, the movie's long.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out, how do we get you to Switzerland? Like, Aunt Patricia did die, right? I did that. Everything happened, but there were completely unrelated stories. Like, Aunt Patricia died. I had to go there and get things moved around and stuff. It had nothing to do with the yacht sinking. But they wanted to include the yacht sinking in the movie, so they had to, like, how do we pull it? So we actually sat down with me and Leo and Mark. We sat down, trying to figure out can we do this, do that? And Leo goes, what if she died, would you have to? I said, well, theoretically, if she died, I could say, that's how telegraphed it was, right? Storytelling, right?
Yeah.
So that's very common in theater, and that's why it says some of the events have been like, so they all happened independently, but they were moved around to serve the narrative, And
inserting empowering beliefs and breaking down the limiting beliefs, because nothing is more destructive to success than limiting beliefs. It's like having a governor on a Ferrari. Just imagine you have the sleekest Ferrari with 500 horsepower, 12 valves, 12 cylinders, 4 valves per cylinder. But if the governor's on the engine stopping the flow of gas, the car ain't going over 55. You can't exceed the capability of the governor, and you can't exceed the capability of your limiting belief. It stops you from charging forward when you should, and causes you to move backwards when you shouldn't. Empowering beliefs lead to a lifetime of joy and happiness, and disempowering beliefs lead to a life of quiet desperation. It's the way it is. You cannot rise above the level of your limiting beliefs. Crack those limiting beliefs. And the way you do it is very simple, because a belief is nothing but an idea that you're really certain about. Just imagine the belief is a tabletop. That's the idea. And the legs beneath the table are the references that make you think you're right. Because we take beliefs as the facts of life. So my belief was what? That my past will always haunt me, and my reference to what any negative article or anything that happened, I'd say, you see, I'm right, my past will always haunt me. That's how a belief is built. But what happens is this, the truth is, and one of the fundamental tenets of neurolinguistic programming is we are not our past experiences. We are the capabilities and the resources that we've gleaned from them. Shit happens to people. You make huge mistakes, but you're not those mistakes. You're not your bankruptcy. You're not your failure. What you are is the lessons that you've learned from that you can use now. You're the resources that you've gleaned from that you can use now. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And it's true. You go back to any belief that you have, and you look at it from a different angle with different resources in you, unconditional love, confidence, clarity, certainty, and your beliefs all of a sudden take on an entirely new meaning. And it starts with the language that you apply to them. Is it the end or is it the beginning? Is God punishing me or is God giving me the opportunity of a lifetime? It's language. And these beliefs that we have, because they're below the surface, we take them as facts of life. And they're not. They're just beliefs. That was the second thing I did at the highest level. It's what you see in this company with your CEO and Branson himself with this vision. Its belief is that you can accomplish anything. It's the fundamental belief behind Virgin. To go into markets no one else goes into, to create value where other people don't see it. That's what Virgin's all about. And it's interesting. You see that some of the commercials are really cool, right? I like the last one with all the stewardesses. You see the commercial with Australia? It's great, okay? And you see all this great stuff. And then I went on the plane. It's amazing. And it's like that. It's beautiful and it's great. And that experience, that vision, is what drives any company, any individual forward in life.
What about the drugs? The movie is kind
Very
of
accurate.
Okay.
I mean,
Cocaine and Quaaludes.
I was much worse than that.
Worse than what the movie showed.
Much worse.
What does that mean? How can it be worse?
No, it was much. It was so insane. It's almost only a drug. I don't know if you've probably never been addicted to drugs.
Yeah, I was actually. So I started with the drinking, then the coke came out, and then when I was in downtown Wall Street, the heroin came out.
And that's where one thing I never really got. Thankfully, I got painkillers, not heroin. So I don't know how bad you got, but I was talking to my head of sales, and he was sober now for a bunch of years. And he was saying, he gets it like this. The human body can become accustomed to taking so much drugs that a lay person would think that can't be possible. It just can't be possible that you can take that much drugs and live. Yes, you can. Your body becomes, you get tolerant to drugs.
You have to take more.
You have to take more and more. So it didn't start off that way, but by the end, I was taking one Quaalude. They weren't around when I was, so we're pretty much, how old are you? We're the same age,